So the culture comes off of having really big purpose in some of the most menial work. I think of every company like a jigsaw puzzle, that your picture on the front of the box is your vivid vision, and the four corners of your jigsaw puzzle are your core values, your core purpose, your BHAG, and your 1-year plan. And then the four sides of the jigsaw puzzle are all the people systems, right? From recruiting, interviewing, training, selection, onboarding, leadership development, the strategic thinking systems, your meeting rhythms, and your financial systems. Those are the four sides of the puzzle. And then culture kind of emerges from there. That's the way I visualize every business.
Okay, let's touch on that classic culture, right? Because as I say, whether it's a culture strategy for breakfast or for lunch, we could argue on that for a moment. But let's talk about that. How do you have those four pieces you talked about, but then there's the people side. So how do you help drive great culture?
So for me, culture is the alignment with those four things, right? As long as your company is obsessed about core values, meaning you fire people if they break them, you recruit people who live them, you reinforce them every day, you do shout outs on them, you celebrate them, you coach people on them. Like it's an obsession around living core values. That drives culture, right? Firing people who don't live those drives culture. If you just kind of merely throw them up on the wall, that hurts culture. So culture starts there. Core purpose is everyone aligned with some kind of greater purpose, right? Something. My core purpose is to help entrepreneurs make their dreams happen. That's my stated core purpose. Simon Sinek was in my kitchen with me back in 2007. I was making dinner. Simon helped me. This was 2 years before he wrote the book, Start With Why. He was on our board of advisors 2 years before that. He helped me come up with my purpose, my core purpose, or my why. So everything I do is aligned with helping entrepreneurs make their dreams happen. My 6 books, my leadership course, my CEO Alliance, my speaking, my group coaching that I do with CEOs, everything helps entrepreneurs make their dreams happen. It also allows me to say no. Right? If this podcast with you was about some government group or I don't know, like a group of doctors, I'd be no. Like as much as I'd love to help, it's not aligned with my core purpose. I would rather do something else or focus on that. My BHAG, I explained, right? That's the third corner, is that big, hairy, audacious goal. It's that to colonize Mars. It gives people something longer term and exciting and cool to build. And for me, it's like if you asked the 3 bricklayers in Barcelona, Spain, 100 years ago, what are you doing? First guy goes, well, I'm making bricks. The second guy goes, we're building a wall and I'm making the bricks to build the left wall. And the third guy says, we're building the Sagrada Familia. It's going to be one of the greatest churches in the world. And I get to make the bricks to build the left wall of the cathedral. So the culture comes off of having really big purpose in some of the most menial work. And then the fourth way culture comes from is having a plan so that people realize, okay, we're driving towards something. I see value in my work. I see how my work contributes. I see what I'm doing, what it's making happen. Culture emerges off that. Culture is not the free massages or the free lunch. Those are perks, which are fine, but culture is the alignment with those 4 things.
The big challenge, right, of any CEO or any manager that a company is they've got the good performer, but they're not fitting the core values.
You have to fire anybody inside of your company that breaches core values. You have to treat them like a cultural cancer, right? If you went to the doctor today and the doctor said, hey, Carl, you've got a cancerous tumor in your lung, but it's okay. You can leave it there for a while. It probably won't be much. Or we can take it out. What would you like? You'd be like, get that sucker out, right? Well, if I come to you and say, hey, Carl, you've got this person in your company. He's toxic. He's a bit of a cancer. Nobody likes him. He's driving everybody crazy. He's pissing people off. I know but you can keep him. Just keep him over in the corner and let him do his thing. No, you get him out of the company because other people start getting frustrated. You're going to have an A player come to you and say, you know what? I'm quitting because I can't work with that jerk anymore. You're going to have customers that aren't giving you all of their revenue because they don't like that jerk over there. You have people that feel like the jerk's getting special treatment and I have to show up at meetings, but we don't make him come because he's a jerk. Or he gets the private office so he doesn't disturb anybody, but I get to work on the floor. You have to cut those people out of the company. And when you do, it sends such a shockwave through the organization that core values matter and results matter, that A players and B players rise to the top. You can often fire the C players and you don't even need to replace them.